Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. This is Heidi Mancini, and I wanted to wish every mother out there a happy Mother's Day. I hope you're spending it with your children or they're spending it with you. I'm here today with my daughter Ava. She came over for Mother's Day and brought me some gifts and flowers, and she made an amazing photograph thing with all our pictures together. Very creative, so it was really nice to have her come over and spend the day with me today. So I hope you guys are all doing something fun also. One of the things I want to talk about today with Mother's Day is how amazing it is when you become a mom. I know for me, it was a pretty scary experience for me when I found out I was pregnant, although I was 29 when I got pregnant, so I was a little bit older when that happened, but I remember being scared to death and thinking, oh, the responsibility I'm going to have with this little baby, and finally, I don't know, just knowing that I had to be fully responsible for another human life scared me to death. So there's a love between a mom and her baby that you can't explain. You'll never have that love with a romantic partner, a mother, a father, and it's simply something that just exists between a mom and her child. So I just wanted to say how happy I am that I got to experience that for myself, and I ended up with an amazing young lady. We went through some hard years there, during a divorce and some other things, big move to Las Vegas, a lot of things going on in her life. She was a youngster. How old were you? Ava's here with us today. Wanna say hello?
16? What? Oh, hi guys.
You're like 15, I think, when your dad and I split up, wasn't it?
No, I was younger. You guys told me you were getting a divorce at when I was 11, and then you guys finalized it when I was 13, I think, because that's when we moved in with Joe. So yeah, no one had passed away when I was 15. That was what was traumatic for me. So
that was a turning point for you.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things that I chose to do in my life after being married for 22 years to Ava's dad, to make some changes for myself, and they probably weren't, timing wise, it probably wasn't the best as far as my daughter's stuff was that she was going through as a teenager. Teenagers, we all know, one day we have a child in our house that we recognize, and we can literally wake up the next day and it's like there was an alien abduction with some of our children. We're like, what the heck happened? Because they just turn into, they go through their stuff. And I know Ava was going through hers, and the divorce and, the upheaval of her life didn't help whatever she was going through. So we had a couple of years there where we didn't talk or see each other. And then I don't even know what happened. We started talking again. What happened? Do you remember?
I don't know. I just think I just wanted to start talking to you. Because I was going through really hard stuff with Dad. He was just kind of doing his own thing and letting me do my own thing. And then, he kind of didn't really teach me anything, but then when I turned 18, he expected me to be a full grown adult and kicked me out. So then I had to kind of fend for myself, and it was just I don't know. I just went through a lot, and I was I want to talk. I just came to the realization. I'm just I don't want to waste my life not talking to you. It was just making me sad and stuff, and I never really had a good relationship with Dad, so I was you know what, I need to try to at least fix one of my relationships, because I'm not gonna really get anywhere with him. He's not gonna change, and he's not gonna see where I'm coming from with why he upsets me. So it was I'm just not even gonna deal with it. So,
well, the thing that I hear all the time from people is they'll say, how could you let your daughter go, just let her go, because I did. I pretty much said, go live with your dad and I'll pay support for a couple of years and, call it good. And I say, well, sometimes the tough decisions to do things like that, they're really painful. It wasn't easy for me to say, tell my daughter, go live with your dad, do what you want, and stay out of my life, because I had, strict boundaries as far as the way I lived my life. And I had come so far in my life with, finally feeling good about myself, having what I felt was courage to, be by myself, or at least be able to make decisions. And I thought, I don't want to go backwards, by allowing, whatever was going on with that time in our lives with, the divorce. And, as we all know, coming from divorces, there's this power game that goes between the both parents. And unfortunately, the kids always seem to be torn apart in the middle of that fight with, embittered adults trying to get even with each other. So one thing I would say to everybody is don't do that, because you're only hurting your kid. You're really not hurting yourself in the long run, but you're going to really tear up your child. So I think if you can get along for the sake of your child, that would probably be the best thing. But to get back to being, a mom, it's, like I said, it's a really amazing thing to me, and I'm really happy that I had that experience. I wanted to have more than one child, but I had one, and I have a really good one. So I feel really privileged to have her in my life and have her around all the time. She's pretty smart, and she's the one that helps me with the butterfly effect. She's I think I call her my technical director, getting these podcasts together and getting me on the radar. This has been a dream of mine for a long time, to help women and children. I'm probably going to I shouldn't say end up, that sounded negative, didn't it? I will be helping young men also, because they also have their self-esteem issues. So the whole premise of the butterfly effect is to help each other grow and do it in a community village type way, where we get a lot of adults together that can model for our children and be the helpers and be the action part of getting things done. Because quite frankly, I'm not really comfortable just sitting behind a microphone. I'm more practical out in the community, running some workshops and doing more hands-on events. But I also feel that we need to share our experiences with other people. And like I said, on Mother's Day, for me to be sitting here doing this broadcast with my daughter Ava is huge to me, because like I said, we were kind of estranged for a long time. But I also knew that the kind of child I raised, and I knew that she'd get through whatever it was she was going through. And I would pray all the time. That's all I did, was just keep her safe, because children, for whatever it's worth, they can get themselves in situations that they're not fully aware of the consequences, and get themselves in big trouble or hurt someone else in the process and ruin their entire lives by making one huge bad mistake or decision. So that was my thing, although it was just to pray that, just keep her safe while she's going through this growing thing and whatever pains that she had to work through. And as we get going in the butterfly effect, Ava's going to be on my podcast regularly talking about her life as a young teenager and as a young woman, because she's gone through some horrendous things on her end, which we won't talk about today. We'll leave that for another time, and we'll discuss these issues so that other mothers and fathers can maybe understand that a lot of times as parents we make it about ourselves. We make everything that we do about ourselves, and we forget that we have a child that has needs. They're a spirit, I believe, that was given to us to kind of watch over, and they're a free spirit. And unfortunately, a lot of parents, we tend to sit back and want to create this being that is going to be perfect, or it's an extension of ourselves, maybe some of the things that we didn't do when we were growing up as children. In the meantime, you can kind of hurt their self-esteem and their growth to be the individual that they're meant to be. So anyway, what do you have to say about Mother's Day today, or anything, Miss Ava?
Well, I'm glad I was able to spend it with you and all that good stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad that I can spend time with you and stuff. Because I know some people they don't have their moms, or they don't have good relationships with their moms, or just whatever the case is. And so I'm I have to I'm happy that I can have a relationship with you, because some people they just don't, whether their moms just aren't around because they passed away, or they're just not present in their life or something, or they would, whatever the case is, it's I take that for granted, because not everybody has that option. So
and I want to take a moment too to mention that on Mother's Day there's a lot of mothers out there that lost their babies too. So while we're all in celebration of spending time with our babies, and no matter how old they get, they're always our babies. And I have a few friends and clients that have lost children to cancer or other type deaths. So today is not, on Mother's Day, is not always a happy occasion for every mom, because not every mom has their child today. They've lost them to some kind of cancer, death, drugs, whatever it might be. So I just want to take a moment for that too, to acknowledge moms that have lost their babies, because I can't even imagine. It's just not the natural cycle of life. When we talk about the cycle, children are not supposed to go before their parents. It's just not normal. So I wanted to talk about that and express my my thoughts about that it's not a happy time for everybody today on Mother's Day. So I think we might wrap it up with that, and we'll be back another time with Faulty Beliefs is one of the podcasts I did a few weeks ago, and I want to expand on that, and I will do a show with Ava talking more about faulty beliefs that we have instilled in us as young people growing up from whoever. It doesn't always have to be your parents. It could be another adult or a sibling or classmate, whatever. And I would like to expand on that. So I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Butterfly Effect. That would be great. Share the link with your friends on Facebook and your other friends, and get the word out there, so as a community we can start helping our children, because they really need positive role models, and they really look to us adults, even though we think they don't like us and they think we're nerds or whatever. The younger generation, we assume they think they still need good positive role models out there to guide them. Even when they're pushing us away, they still need us. So I guess that's it for today. I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day, and again, subscribe to YouTube channel, The Butterfly Effect. My email is Camillio, CAMILLIO, the number 1, at iCloud.com. You can always email me if you have any ideas about something you'd like to talk about. We can have a show dedicated to some ideas from other people. I always appreciate that. Or if you have a young person in your life too, they have any questions, we can answer those also. And my daughter's available. So I'll be doing podcasts by myself, and then Ava and I will be doing some podcasts together for mothers, daughters, mothers and children and their parents, however you want to word it. So everybody have a great day, and happy Mother's Day. And Ava?
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.